So we're just cruising here at 36,000 feet on our flight from Dunedin to Brisbane. Just thought I'd do a very short video just to demonstrate how we enter our EDTO information into the FMC for our reference purposes. The two documents that we're referencing here are the flight plan and the EDTO reference guide, which is found in volume A1 on the very last page. So we can confirm that it's an EDTO 120 flight plan with the EDTO airports used Dunedin, Sydney and Brisbane. And what we're trying to achieve here is, if we go to the last page of the flight plan, you'll see that essentially we want to be able to insert the 60-minute ring for Dunedin, the 60-minute ring for Sydney, and you'll see that this segment here is our EDTO segment. So we want to know the equal time point between Sydney and Dunedin. So if we have any issue before that point, we go back to Dunedin, and any issue beyond this point, we keep going to Sydney. There's two ways to do it in the PMDG. Neither, I would say, are very easy. If you ever forget the 60-minute distance for the aircraft that you're flying in, you can find it on the flight plan under the non-EDTO distance, so 431. If we go to the flight plan, we'll see that ETP1 is at south 38, 06.3, east 161, 47.0, and we can also see that before the next waypoint after the ETP will be jumper. So we can add 40 and 180 and see that that means that 220 miles before jumper will be at ETP1. So let's try and put all that into the box. So we'll put NZDN with 431. We'll put Sydney with 431. So that's our EDTO segment in there. Now, there's two ways, as I mentioned, that we can do this. The first way is we can simply enter the lat long, so south 3806.3, east 161.47.0, just into the legs page. That'll give us a user-defined waypoint of waypoint 01. We can take that across and put it into the fixed page, and then we must go back to the leg page and press erase, and that circle now shows our ETP. There is another way, as we mentioned. We said that it was 220 miles before jumper was our ETP, so we can select jumper minus 220. That's given us jumper 01, and as you can see already, it's sitting right on top of that ETP. So again, we could use this method to go into here. Again, we'll erase, and now they're both sitting on top of each other, and that gives us our ETP. As we come up and approach 431 miles or 60 minutes distance from Dunedin, we will be entering EDTO. As a reminder, we are running the APU as a backup generator source, and referencing our quick reference guide. Before we reach the EEP, we check that there is no failure of a required system for EDTO. We check that all three electrical generators are available. As we approach ETP, we will EP, we will ensure that we've checked the latest weather for Dunedin and Sydney. And if there is a problem, we could consider going on a non-EDTO route. Well, that doesn't really apply in this particular instance. We could continue by using another airport. For example, if there was an issue with Sydney or Dunedin, we might ring flight dispatch and look at using Wellington and maybe Brisbane. That would still keep us within our 120 range rings. Or if all of that didn't work, we would just turn around and go back and land at a suitable airport. A reminder, in terms of aerodrome problems, once we are underway, we just have to ensure that the weather at the EDTO alternates are not below the landing minima, or the aerodrome suddenly becomes unusable. And as a reminder that in the last hour of cruise we will check the fuel crossfeed valve. Hopefully that was helpful.